Well, I was born in Freeport, Texas, grew up in Lake Jackson. It was a small town back then, and basically built by Dow Chemical to house its workers. And my dad worked at the chemical plant. It was a great place to grow up, but I knew long term I wanted to move away. And I finally got that opportunity when I went to the University of Texas. I initially majored in electrical engineering, and it was my final summer there that I got to interface with business people on a particular project. And I quickly learned in that one eventful meeting that I was on the wrong side of the table. And so I switched to accounting. I really learned the math behind business. I had this great exposure to a lot of very interesting clients, one of whom was Richard Rainwater when he was at the Bass family. He called me in early '87 and said, "Why don't you come join me?" It was just lightning in a bottle. It was the right opportunity at the right time for me.
John was the beneficiary of having been a protege of Richard Rainwater. And Richard Rainwater was famous for bringing in young, smart, hardworking people, training them, and then have them all go out and start their own businesses and be enormously successful.
It was like a pickup basketball game. You had no idea who was going to show up day to day. We had people that officed with us, Mort Meyerson. George Bush came to us before he was even running for governor. Ken Hirsch started his career there with Natural Gas Partners. Rick Scott, now a senator. The list goes on. Eddie Lampert, often describe it as perhaps the world's best capitalistic petri dish that existed at that point in time. Our exposure to real estate dated back into the late 80s when Roger Staubach came to us, and through that found that he had a small burgeoning company to be in the tenant rep business. So we invested in the Staubach company, which ultimately was sold for well over $700 million. It was an incredible success story. But through my insights serving on the board of the Staubach company, I got to see where companies were moving and why they were moving there. So I created a business plan on a yellow pad. Richard liked everything very simple and on one piece of paper. So I handed him my yellow pad and said, "I have a plan to build a real estate company. I would like to do this." And he said, "Great, love the plan. You've got to put up your net worth." So I took the risk and I put all my net worth on the line and created what ultimately was Crescent Real Estate. But that idea that started on a yellow pad ultimately was sold to Morgan Stanley in 2007 for $6.5 billion.
John sees things others don't see. I would say that it comes so natural to him, he doesn't even know he's doing it. And if John were to say that he didn't see 2008 coming, I'd like to ask him why he sold the whole Crescent portfolio to Morgan Stanley.
I count my blessings and knock on wood every day for that timing. It was very fortuitous, and I had this unique opportunity presented to me not even 2 years later, where Barclays came to me and said, "Do you want to buy your old company back?" My answer was, "Sure, I'd love to buy it back." It was the single most incredible real estate deal I've ever done.
The uniqueness of John is that he shared his success with Fort Worth. Fort Worth is a town that's so easy to fall in love with. He gives back to it. What I'm most excited about right now is the plans that John has on this beautiful new development right in the Arts District in Fort Worth. People, they underestimate, no matter what town you're in, you want something first class, and John's gonna build it.
When John likes something, he dives in, whether it be for the community of Fort Worth, or whether it be in the arts.
John's philanthropy, like most people, follows what you're passionate about. And John clearly is passionate about real estate. And he gave a very sizable $6 million gift to the University of Texas McCombs Business School.
He loves the University of Texas. He adopted an elementary school. I think personally funds that elementary school to give those kids, a decent chance of an education.
There's a special place in my heart for anyone that has served this country. My wife, Cammie, and I were approached by the Jones family about a mission they had to bring a new museum into Arlington, which won the competition for the Medal of Honor Museum. This tugged at our heart, and we stepped up, and we're helping raise what will be $180 to $200 million to see this museum educational center built.
The secret to John Goff, he surrounds himself with smart, capable people. He is going full speed ahead in all different kinds of industries and business and helping the community. It is so much fun for him. I honestly think John Goff is just getting started.